Tell us if this is you. You're at a social event, or even more importantly, getting ready for your wedding, and you're absolutely terrified about the thought of dancing together.
So many couples come to us scared to dance at their wedding, scared to dance in front of friends and family, and even more scared to embarrass themselves and their partners.
We're absolutely confident that you can overcome your fear of dancing and actually look forward to taking that moment and getting onto the dance floor.
In this video, we're going to dispel the most common misconception that people have and that creates that fear inside of them. We're going to give you strategies on how to work around it, and we're going to start you on the path to transforming you into being able to dance on the floor with ease and confidence.
So let's jump straight into it. The biggest misconceptions that you probably have, as well as so many other beginners out there, is that there is a right and a wrong way to dance.
This couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, there is no right or wrong. There is only together.
That's right. This is something that we always preach in our videos here on YouTube, as well as within our Natural Dance Method program. And this is something that we believe wholeheartedly.
So many people think they're going to get the steps wrong, the foot wrong, left foot, right foot. I don't even know which one is which.
Exactly.
The music wrong, or just, the wrong type of hold, or there are just so many things out there that they think wrong, wrong, wrong.
You don't want to be wrong. We don't want to be wrong. And so, of course, it's going to be a fearful idea of you getting onto the dance floor and you don't know how to dance. You don't have the skills, the experience, and of course, you're going to be fearful. We totally get that. But instead of thinking about right and wrong, we have to think more about that there isn't right and wrong, and that we actually are in a fluid situation that is very flexible.
All you need is to develop a few skills that are really easy to learn, and then you'll be able to do it. It's like cooking your spaghetti bolognese. You've done it a million times, you know the ingredients, you don't have to perfectly measure out every single little ingredient and do it in the exact order of the recipe.
Exactly. Plus, there are so many spaghetti bolognese recipes out there. If you Google search, there's thousands of them. Does that mean that 999 are wrong and only one is right?
No way.
Oh, exactly. There is spaghetti bolognese that these people like, that those people like, and it's still spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah, and they can have different ingredients. They can be put in different orders when you put the ingredients in.
Exactly.
They all end up being delicious.
Mm-hmm. And this is something that you will learn to do over time, is that you will be able to have the skills, just like the ingredients. You'll have the idea that we want to dance to a slow song, or a fast song, or a medium song, whatever it is. And you have the skills to be able to put them together to make your bolognese on the dance floor, if that makes any sense.
So what we want you to do is start thinking about dancing as being flexible and that you're able to go with the flow.
Yeah, one analogy that we love to use for our students is the idea of driving. For instance, to the supermarket. From home to the supermarket, you know the basic idea, the basic route that you're going to take, or if we talk about dance, the basic game plan that you want to have for your dance. Now, does that mean that when you drive to the supermarket, you're going to be exactly at this intersection at this time, and then you're going to turn exactly on this precise second?
And when you go to the supermarket, do you take the same route every single time? Or maybe if there's construction or there's something going on,
exactly,
you might take a different route.
Exactly. Or you might go a little bit faster because the people are driving a little bit faster, or maybe you have to drive a little slower because people around you are driving slower.
But in the end, you're still going to get there.
Exactly. And this is the fluidity, this is the flexibility that we preach, that we want you guys to develop so that you're not stressed about your dancing, that you don't think that there is an exact way to drive to the supermarket.
Again, there is no right or wrong. Mm-hmm. So how do we develop this go with the flow approach? So many people out there think that it takes years of experience to actually freestyle, and they're scared to do that.
It's totally true, but it's not. Yeah. The simple answer is to develop connection and communication within the partnership. And it's a lot more simple than you might think.
Doesn't that take years and years to develop? Years of dancing experience?
No, it doesn't. And we're going to show you a few skills right there in the dance floor behind us on how you guys can start developing it right here, right now.
But before we do that, we want to share with you a few words from one of the couples in our program that have developed the communication and connection and how it's helped their dancing, not only their dancing, but also their relationship.
After just 2 months in our program, this is what Jerry and Joy had to say to us.
When planning our 25th wedding anniversary party, we knew we wanted to have dancing since we didn't dance at our wedding, but we didn't know how to dance together. We found Joel and Clara's natural dance method online, and after talking with Joel, decided to go for it. It was the best money we've spent on ourselves in our 25 years of being married. Aw, what a great investment and fun thing to do for date nights. It's a gift to ourselves that keeps on giving.
Joel and Clara are upbeat and great teachers, both from the online video lessons and also personal instruction via chats. The personal feedback is invaluable. The home-based strategy is an awesome way to keep it simple and relaxed. Our guests were very impressed.
Being able to dance together at any time has also put an additional spark in our marriage. It's something that can be done in a few minutes that brings us closer, makes us smile and laugh together. And surprise, white men can dance.
Thanks, Jerry and Joy. So within just a couple months, Joy and Jerry were able to do these type of actions and have fun dancing together, whether it's now to a fast song, to a slow song, and have some joy and some spark and have some fun on the dance floor.
Yeah. Again, the way that they were able to achieve all this was by developing the connection and communication between the two bodies.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is just show you a few exercises you guys can do right now to start building your connection and communication within your partnership.
Yes, and remember, it's not as hard as you think.
Yes, exactly. So, for instance, if we're doing a passing turn and I am now asking Clara to pass me, I can, with my body, even not thinking about the hands, indicate to Clara, please pass me.
Oh,
for instance, on
he
my
has
left
opened
side.
the door so I can walk into that free space and then turn around and face him.
Exactly. And if I wanted to do a different thing, I could ask Clara, for instance, to pass me on my right side.
There we go.
Exactly.
It's very intuitive because it's kind of like, you do this every day, that if you're wanting someone to pass you, you will just open up the space for them so that they are able to pass.
Exactly. Like if you're in the supermarket, the grocery store, and it's a tight aisle, you might say, okay, please, yeah, go ahead and pass me.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for my spaghetti bolognese ingredients in this aisle.
Yeah, and it's very natural that there's the open space, so that's the space that I need to walk into. I don't have to guess which space does he want me to walk into. Well, it's the open space that's available.
Exactly. We always want to say that this is the most natural thing to do and use that naturalness within our dancing. So just as a test, if here I'm not going to be dancing with you guys and I do this, which space are you guys going to go? Are you going to go in that space? I don't think so. Or if I go like that? Right? It's that simple. And we want you to be able to, as leads, be able to be confident opening up your right side or your left side, and as follows, being able to realize what's happening, to be aware of the situation, and therefore just walk into that space.
Yes, I always say as a follow, you are a responder. So you kind of sense the signals and see what's happening and then respond to that.
Exactly. Once we do that, now we can incorporate hands, and we're just going to keep them nice and low. Here I'm going to say, Clara.
Okay, I'm going to walk into that free space.
Or maybe this way.
I'm going to walk into this free space.
Yeah. And as we do this slowly, it can be nice and elegant, whether it's a nice romantic slow dance for the wedding, or it could be a fun disco number or a hip hop number where you do it much more quickly with a lot more energy. But either way, it's still the same principle.
And like we say, there's no right or wrong, especially if you have the approach that we are just walking into position. Yeah, we don't have to memorize the steps, step 1, step 2, right foot, left foot, none of that. We are just walking into the free space.
Exactly. Once we want to level this up and we're confident with the passing actions and the indication of the right side or the left side, we can start to incorporate things like underarm turns. Yeah? And so leads, it's the same concept. Do we want our partner to go under the arm? We will raise our hand up and we will indicate in which space to go in.
Yeah, and we just have to know as follows that when that arm goes up, we're doing a turn.
Exactly. So for instance, now here, I'm not only going to open up this space, yeah, but I'm also going to now raise my hand and bring it into that space as well. Yeah, that will already tell Clara, okay, we're going to do an underarm turn and then we finish it off. Now imagine if now I'm so worried about being right or wrong or memorizing what my dance teacher said and it's not natural, but I just have to force it. And I know I have to go there and up. Now I'm bringing my hand up into this space, but I'm opening up here. This is where...
And I'm confused because there's space over here, but his hand's over here.
This is where we can get really awkward and confused because we're thinking too much. Let's be a little bit more natural and go, okay, well, I want my partner, I want Claire to go over here with an underarm turn.
Yeah, and most of the time you do just that. here's the space.
Exactly. So here we go.
Here's
and
the space.
Bring up the hand, and then out we go. It really is that simple, everybody. We don't have to be so fearful for dancing, as long as we know that there isn't a right or wrong, but that we are trying to communicate and work together as a couple to be able to have a wonderful dance.
So once you've learned these connection and communication tips and how to direct space and how to respond to that space, the world is your oyster. You can do so many more things with it just because you understand those concepts.
Exactly. It could be now double turns, double spins, it could be leans, it could be dips, it can be fast music, slow music. And this is something that we love for our couples within our program to be able to develop. It is something that we call our everyday dance style. It is not swing, it's not salsa, it's not cha-cha, it's not waltz. It is something that's a lot more freestyle, it's a lot more go with the flow approach, and it's a lot more about connecting and communicating than it is about memorizing and thinking, oh, I have to do something right, or I'm gonna end up doing it wrong.
There are no step patterns, it's just based on walking from here to there, and so everyone can do it. So many of our couples remark at how easy it is and how they've never thought that they could do it, but they've done it.
So if you'd really like to learn more about this method that we've been teaching couples from around the world, go and check out this masterclass. There's a link down in the description below, and we go over the skills and the strategy that we do in our online program and have helped so many couples.
There are lots of free goodies in the description below, so check it out. There's lots of useful information.
And if you're liking this type of content, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you're telling YouTube that you like what Joel and Clara have to offer and you'd like to see more from us.
Thanks for watching. If you like more videos, check out these ones. They'll be really useful to help you get connected and communicating on the dance floor.